the king of the jungle? All right. Are you all from the same school? All the elders sitting here? You've all gone to the same school? Same teachers? Same books? Then how did you have the same answer? And why did you have the same answer? Because it was told, it was taught, it was seen, it was experienced, it was repeated. Thank God the lion doesn't know that he's king of the jungle. It is we who've made him the king of the jungle. And the entire process of this one question and the answer that unanimously came lies a deep science of beyond conscious competence. And if all of us pay a little attention to how we're getting shaped on daily basis, and the way we are behaving, and the way our character is getting developed for the future, I think all of us can become better human beings. Let's have a look at some simple things. Well, you've already answered that the king of the jungle is lion. Why? Next. All right. Because this is a statement that all of us can read through. Same information repeated over a period of time in various forms creates a belief. I'll repeat. Same information repeated over a period of time in various forms creates belief. And this belief is an external trigger. Beliefs are external in nature. Then what is internal in nature? And why is it external in nature? The entire marketing, the word marketing, holds on this one statement of creating same information in various forms till it gets attracted to those people who resonate with it, and then people start the buying process. It's important for all of us to realize that our beliefs are shaping our character. And the more you hold your beliefs, the more there's a possibility of failures. And that's what we're going to talk today. If you look at my next slide, okay? I'm sure all of us have heard these words, right? A lot of English goes around every day. Beliefs and values. But what is values now? The Hindi word of values is called Siddhant. Principles. It means values are internal in nature and beliefs are external in nature. Values have been studied into DNA formation as well. Values come from generations to generation. And I'll give you a classic example of it. Have you ever seen when you go to a church, you're wearing shoes? Right? No problems. You can wear shoes. Sometimes during the wedding times, people sip wine. Try this in the Ganpati temple. You know what's going to happen, right? Values are coming over a period of time. It's a timeless guiding principle that requires no external justification. And because they have no external justification, I don't need to tell and prove people what my values are. The way I behave, the way I act, the way I speak, the way I produce results tells people what my values are. And hence we need to understand the definition of these, a timeless guiding principle that requires no external justification. I don't need to tell anybody what my values are. I just need to behave, I need to act, I need to produce results according to them. None of you have ever met Ratan Tata in person. Hello? Yes? No? Have you ever met Ratan Tata in person? Great. But if you look at Tatas, what comes to your mind? Why? He came to your home and told you? But that's how the organization behaves. That's how a human being behaves. And a set of people behaving in a common values starts building a culture. Now, if you notice, I've broken this down into step-by-step analysis for all of you and see if it's making sense. Step number 1. From ignorance to mastery, from efforts to effortlessness, from self to culture. How our community gets created. How a society gets created. Why do we say there are beliefs, values, rituals, and cultures? Look at every step and how it starts from the day you are born. The first element is time. Stage 1, unconscious incompetence. We've heard about all of this. I don't know that I don't know. A simple step, right? What's happening in that state is I'm getting exposed. I get to see new things and I'm surprised, either in shock or surprise, but I get exposure. And every time when I get exposure, I have questions. Whether I'm at 4 at my age or 40 or 80, I have questions. And I believe that people who don't have questions have lost the meaning in life. So please don't stop asking questions. And if your parents are saying, hey, listen, don't ask too many questions, say, okay, I'm intelligent, so I'm asking questions. Is that okay? But fundamentally, questions are important. Unless and until you get exposure, you're not going to ask questions. If you're not going to ask questions, what's going to happen? Stage 2, with exposure and questions, you now realize that I know that I don't know. So I know what is an aeroplane, I don't know how to fly it. But when I was born, I did not know what is a plane. So now I'm consciously incompetent. In the stage of conscious incompetence, what happens with people and leaders is typically questions then lead to observations. And as these observations lead to curiosity, that was the word that we were describing earlier as well. Now this takes us to instruction-led work. When me as a human being at any age, when I'm consciously incompetent and I'm trained through instructions, I start forming beliefs because I start getting results or failures. Stage 3 of human development, or leadership development for that matter, happens at conscious competence level. I know that I know now. All right? Now, what happens? This is when I start forming behaviors. Till this time, I'm adopting behaviors. Till this time, I'm watching my parents and doing things. Till this time, I'm making sure whatever my teachers talk to me, whatever my elders talk to me, I'm behaving like them. This is the time when I actually start making my own behaviors. These behaviors then lead to actions. I want to do it by myself. Typically, from an age point of view, around 13, 14, 15, this is when I start becoming a rebel at home. Around 27, 28, when I have 4 or 5 years of corporate experience or working experience, this is the time I want to do something of my own. This is the time I want to challenge people. All right? Now, that takes me to the last piece. If I act on it and I keep repeating it, what happens? It starts becoming my habit. And this moves on to the stage 4. The stage 4 talks about subconsciously competent. Now I do not need to look at the tire while I'm riding a bicycle. Sometimes I also move my hands off while I'm riding, even while driving, because I'm subconsciously competent. This is the only difference that is between you choosing to wear clothes every morning versus brushing teeth. All right? I don't know if you've ever observed this. You choose to wear your clothes because you want to make a choice of what clothes to wear. But you don't choose to brush. If you are choosing that, please go out. All right? Subconsciously competent. Now, this subconscious competence has only one thing: repetition of actions in a given environment. Now, I want you to realize environment as a factor has come up. Why? Because I'm going to use my subconscious competence in an environment. This environment and repetition gives me my habits. So whether it's good habit or bad habit is defined by whom? My environment. I am bad or I am good is defined by environment. My results are good or bad are decided by environment. I'm a good leader or a bad leader, decided by environment. Environment starts playing a major role in your development. This environment forms your habits, forms your beliefs, and these beliefs forms your values. I've already told you the definition of beliefs and values. They form the rituals in the community or the society, and those rituals actually create culture in the organization or at home or in the school. Wherever people come together with common beliefs, values, and ritual, culture is getting created. Whether you want to create it or you don't want to create it, it is getting created. So please wisely choose what you want to repeat and which environment. Please choose this very wisely. There are young friends sitting in this room. Choose your environment. And choose what to repeat. Because if you don't, anyways it's going to happen. So it's your choice. Now, that takes us to the next piece. And the next piece is very close to my heart. This is something that has been researched for the last 13 years. And we've been working on this. We are still working on this. It's called the circle of imbalanced leadership. Why do we fail as leaders? All right? Now, what happens is as you grow, as I grow, and I'm climbing that ladder of success, money, houses, and cars, something is happening inside. Something is happening inside my brain. And I want you to understand what's that happening. Because unless and until we don't understand why is it happening, we do not have the power to change. Now, what are we going to look at? The first is to evolve as a leader, we must move from control to connection. If we are not moving from control to connection, we will not evolve as a leader. The only person that you have to control is yourself, and the rest has to be managed. Unfortunately, we do it exactly opposite. We try to control everything around us and manage people, manage ourselves. But it is opposite. Opposite is control yourself and manage the rest of the world. Now, in order to manage that successfully, in order to manage the change and leadership successfully, it is important that we look at this circle. When people tend to control things, it could be a parent, it could be a teacher, it could be a professor, it could be a corporate leader, it could be an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, an investor like me, it doesn't matter. When people try to control, they tend to create rigid processes. And every time when you create a rigid process, something next is going to happen. You're going to create an environment of fear. And every time when you create an environment of fear, the next stage happens is you're all carrying the past baggages that you have because that was the process that made you successful, your old belief. And this old belief is not letting you to move forward. This old belief is not letting you to look at what are the new things. This old belief is not letting you to know or say to yourself that a younger guy than me or a younger girl than me can have a better idea, can do better than me. And most of the leaders are operating out of past baggages. This is how we were successful. But what got you there won't get you here. There's a beautiful book written on it by Marshall Goldsmith. You should definitely read that. But fundamentally, past baggages is what we carry and try to get our new successes. The next is, while we are in this process, we tend to lose the sight of objectivity. Because now I want to prove myself right. As a leader, as a human being, I want to prove myself right. And I skip. Why did I start it? I miss the reason of why I wanted to make it happen. Due to that, I start labeling people. I don't know how many of you have said this. I'm going to use Hindi. ये तो ऐसा ही है. He's like that only. You never listen. The women in the house who are married, you never give me time. Do you remember the statement to your husband? This is how we start labeling. Because that process is about proving yourself right. And every time I have conversations like this, every time when I have communication like this, every time when I have relationships like this, they are all going to spoil. It doesn't matter whether they are professional or personal. It is so very important that you get out of the circle. It's a vicious circle. You start labeling, you create more rigid processes. And I don't know how is it possible that people tend to be extremely excited when they join a job and they're highly demotivated when they actually leave it. How is it possible? Is the company or the school or the home a factory of demotivation? That you get a motivated guy, you demotivate him and get out. Why? Because the key factor is environment. Look at the leaders around and see if this is happening. And every time you want to make a move out of this, you got to look at this triangle. Okay? While this triangle will talk at the top, if you remember I said values, please live your life with some guided values. Values are like those highway lines, the extreme lines. They tell you can move around the next 3 lanes, but you can't go on right hand side extreme or left hand side extreme. Live your life with guided values. If you do not, you're not creating a culture. Forget about creating a culture in office as a leader. You will not be able to create a culture at home. So please define your values. Communicate them in your family or probably also in your corporate offices or the schools that you're operating on. But communicate your values. Your values will give you your mission, your purpose, your reason. And as you get your reason, that's when you get your vision, a mental clarity of where you want to see. And I'm going to play a recording right now of somebody live to you right now who sent me a couple of years back, a couple of months back, okay, and see what he's saying, okay? Can I have the mic, please, quickly?
I want you to clarify all these things. Towards the idea consistently successful. Good morning, Yogesh sir. Sir, it's so surprising. I don't have any words as such. But whatever I have written 8 years back, rather you have made me to write 8 years back. And exactly at 2025, just now a couple of months left for this year end. And we are crossing 50 CR. Already 48 CR crossed, and now in next 1.5 months, definitely it is going to cross 50 CR. But I'm surprised to see some 8 years back what you have made me to write a retirement speech, and in that speech it is written that 2025 I will retire, and the figure also 50 CR exactly matches. Sir, what is this? How it can be so accurate and so this thing? Just I want you to clarify all these things.
Okay, I sent some answer to him. It doesn't matter what the answer was. What I'm trying to put across here is realize the fact that when you work on a guided path, okay, you tend to have better health. You're more happy. And you are better as decision makers. We might have 500 things to do in life, but if you choose what to, you will see the magic of happiness and better health. That takes me to the next part of it. Once you have all of this, then you need to know how to. This is a long list. I'm not going to go deep into it. And from a business standpoint, we would call it as profits. And from a life standpoint, we would call it as happiness. There's a process to this, my friends, and if we all realize that if we start working on a process well, you will see your emotions aligned and better will give you better economics. And that's what we all want, isn't it, at the end of the day also? Whether we are at 10 as an age, 14 as an age, or 50 as an age, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we all want to have a happy life and make money. How many of you agree to what I said right now? Just say aye. Hello? People don't want money here? Yeah. All right? Okay. Now, that takes me to the last piece of it before I move. And how did these things come up? My PhD too, okay? I went to 48 businesses. 48 businesses who created businesses around 1,000, 2,000 crores all over India, okay? I'm a psychologist by education, so my habit is to find patterns, all right? While doing this research at School of Inspirational Leadership, we realized that there are certain behaviors, if adopted by leaders or people, they will see happiness and economics both coming in place. They can create something meaningful out of them, but these are daily behaviors that leaders need to practice or humans need to practice. Let's look at each one of it, and the magic lies in its definition, not the words. Let's look at the first word. The first word is called proactivity. The word proactivity means my ability to be aware of the environment and courageously act. It's not about doing first. It is about courageously acting. Second is engagement. My ability to get along with people. Get along with anybody. It does not matter whether I'm a 15 years old, I'm a 60 years old, whether I'm a watchman, whether I'm a CEO, whether I'm a chief minister, it doesn't matter. If I have the ability to get along with people, I can create magic as a leader. Third is appreciation. Appreciation is so beautiful. It is a basic need of every human being. Right? We all like to be appreciated. We all like to be appreciated. But what does it mean actually? It means my ability to find good in others. In every situation, can I find out something fantastic and I can tell that other person? Unfortunately, at home, when we find this good food around us and one item of it probably has less salt, all of us focus on that less salt. Do I have the courage to say that this thing is fantastic in front of everybody? Because everyone likes recognition. Everyone likes to be clicking photographs. Everyone wants to put it on Facebook or Insta. Everyone wants it. Few might be doing it regularly, few might not. Few might internally like it, few are expressive about it. But everybody likes recognition. And the last piece is my personal favorite. Okay? Last piece is my personal favorite. And the personal favorite that is, I don't know if you can see this, it's called my ability to make people comfortable. Can I listen to people in such a form that everybody feels comfortable with me? The security guard to the top leader or a junior or a son or a daughter that I have, it doesn't matter who am I talking to. Can I make people comfortable when they talk to me? Because once people are comfortable talking to me, they put their heart out. And the three things they're going to tell you all the time. They're going to tell you a story. And if they tell you the story, they're going to tell you their emotions. They're going to tell you how they feel. Or they're going to tell you a method, which means you know what their skill sets are. And the third, they're going to tell you an action. There are only three things that humans talk to each other. An emotion, a flow, or result. So when I listen to people, I tend to learn more about them. And every time I tend to learn more about them, I'm able to work better with them. But most of us want to talk more and prove more. Let me tell you a secret before I end. The one who listens is in the control of any conversation. I'll repeat what I'm saying before I close. One who is listening is in control of any conversation that's happening. So my friends, listen well. Thank you.